Today, we're going to talk about something that affects all of us, getting triggered. Whether it's someone's words, actions, or even situations that catch us off guard, we've all had moments where we're emotionally reactive. But here's the thing, being constantly triggered isn't healthy. The good news is you can stop getting triggered easily. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. If you've ever had one of those days where something small sets you off and suddenly you feel like everything is out of control, you're not alone. Social media, stressful relationships, and even everyday situations can feel overwhelming at times, and it's so easy to fall into the trap of reacting emotionally to everything around us. But here's a truth bomb. It's not what happens to us that causes the stress. It's how we let it affect us. And the good news is, with some awareness and effort, you can control your reactions and create a more peaceful, centered life. So let's dive into how we can stop getting triggered. 1. What does getting triggered really mean? Before we go any further, let's clarify what being triggered means. A trigger is something that causes an intense emotional reaction in us. It could be anything from a comment on a post to a confrontation with someone at work. For instance, imagine you've been putting in hours of effort on a project, and when you present it, someone dismisses it. Instantly, you feel angry or hurt. Or you might get upset if someone close to you doesn't acknowledge something you've done. These triggers activate our emotional responses. But here's the catch. We don't have to react impulsively. Recognizing this is the first step toward taking back control of how we respond. 2. Why do we get triggered so easily? We often think of triggers as external factors, but the reality is most of our emotional reactions are tied to our inner beliefs and past experiences. For example, if you've had a history of feeling ignored or unappreciated, a small incident of being overlooked can spark that old wound. Triggers are often rooted in insecurities. They remind us of situations where we felt helpless or hurt. When something similar happens in the present, it activates that emotional response. But it's essential to remember, not everything is about you, even if it feels like it is. Not every offhand comment or missed gesture is meant to attack your worth. Many times, it's simply a reflection of the other person's own struggles or mindset. 3. How to identify your personal triggers. The next step in overcoming triggers is to identify them. This might sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful ways to regain emotional control. Start by paying attention to moments when you feel intensely upset. What sets you off? Is it a specific person, certain words, or particular situations? For example, do you get upset when people are late? Or perhaps you're triggered by a lack of validation? Here's an exercise. Over the next week, keep a journal of times when you get triggered. Note the situation, the person involved, and your reaction. Afterward, look for patterns. Are your triggers tied to certain emotions, like feeling unappreciated, disrespected, or invisible? By identifying these patterns, you can anticipate when you might get triggered and take proactive steps to prevent it. Understanding why something triggers you helps to take away its power over you. 4th, understanding facts versus narratives. One powerful tool for managing emotional reactions is to differentiate between facts and the narrative we create around them. For example, imagine you have a friend who doesn't respond to your message immediately. The fact is simple, they didn't reply. But the narrative we might tell ourselves is, they're ignoring me, they don't care about me, they're mad at me. That narrative isn't always true, but we often allow it to shape our emotional response. By focusing on the facts, we can shift our perspective and stop making assumptions that fuel negative emotions. 5. Taking responsibility for your emotions. Here's a life-changing truth. You are responsible for your emotions. It's easy to blame others for how we feel, but the truth is, we choose how we respond emotionally. Someone might say something offensive, but it's our decision whether to take it personally and react, or to let it roll off our back. Instead of getting defensive, ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? Often, it's because something inside us feels threatened or hurt. Taking responsibility means not blaming others for how we feel, but looking inward to understand the cause of our reactions. This is where the real power lies. The power of pause. One of the simplest, yet most effective ways to stop getting triggered is to pause before you respond. Instead of reacting in the moment, take a few deep breaths. Allow your mind to reset before you speak or act. It's easy to respond out of habit or anger, but a pause gives you the space to respond intentionally. This could be the difference between a calm conversation and a heated argument. 7. How to control your reactions and stay calm. Controlling your emotional reactions isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about channeling them effectively. When you feel triggered, try these strategies. Deep breathing. Slow, deep breaths can activate your body's relaxation response and help you stay grounded. Mindfulness. Pay attention to the present moment. Notice your thoughts without judgment and let them pass. Positive self-talk. Replace negative self-critical thoughts with more positive, constructive ones. For instance, instead of thinking, "This is unfair, I'm being mistreated," try thinking, "I don't need to engage with this negativity. I can choose my response." 8. Set healthy boundaries. Some people are natural energy drainers. They thrive on conflict, drama, or negativity. When you find yourself constantly triggered by someone, it's time to set healthy boundaries. Setting boundaries doesn't mean cutting people off or being rude. It means knowing when to say no, stepping away from toxic situations, or limiting your exposure to people who are constantly triggering you. Protect your peace. It's one of the most important things you can do for your emotional health. 9. Approach triggers with empathy. This one might sound counterintuitive, but it works. When you're triggered, try to approach the situation with empathy. Understand that the person who triggered you might be going through their own struggles or stresses. When you shift your mindset to one of empathy, you stop taking things personally. Instead of reacting defensively, you respond with understanding. Sometimes simply asking someone, "Is everything okay?" can turn a potentially tense situation into an opportunity for connection. 10. Build emotional resilience. The ability to not get triggered easily comes with emotional resilience. It's a skill you can develop over time with consistent practice. A few things that can help you build resilience include self-care. Take time for activities that nurture your mental and physical well-being. Gratitude practice. Focusing on what's going well in your life can help shift your mindset. Exercise. Physical activity not only improves your health, but also releases stress and boosts mood. Conclusion. Your power to choose. In conclusion, you are in control of your emotions. By identifying your triggers, understanding the facts, and responding with intention, you can stop getting triggered so easily. It's a process, but with practice, you'll build emotional resilience that helps you navigate life's ups and downs with a calmer, more centered approach. Remember, the world around you may be chaotic, but how you respond is entirely up to you. So take a deep breath, stay grounded, and know that you have the power to choose your emotional reactions. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share with someone who might need this message, and subscribe for more content on mastering emotions and living a balanced life.